Hello folks, and welcome back. This is going to be a maintenance video for the Casita trailer. During our last trip in the spring 2021 series, while we were on the trip we had a couple of breakdowns. One of the breakdowns we had was the power inverter that converts your AC to DC to keep your battery charge went bad. Trailer has 50 to 60,000 miles on it, numerous RV parks. We do use the surge protector, but you do expect us to go bad over time. You can buy them from Amazon for 160, 170 bucks, or you can pay 300 something bucks from somewhere out in town, some of these RV shops to get it. We did replace this online while we were camping, and I just wanted to do a quick video here to show you how easy it is to do. Alright folks, right now I have no power, no AC power connected to the outside of the trailer. I'm going to turn off the battery disconnect that they have in here. So that should kill everything inside this box. That disconnects the battery. Shore power is disconnected. We should be good. Now, after I take this cover off, I'm still going to check it. Never trust that it's completely out. Always use a voltmeter and double check, make sure that it's out. Now, to be able to get in here and check it, first thing I gotta do is take the cover off. On the newer models here, there's two screws here. Just take those two screws loose. All right, there's one. There's two. Take the panel off, and now you have all the exposed wiring on the inside of the panel. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our voltmeter. Okay, put it on DC volts. All right. And we're going to check all of the wires over here to make sure that there's no voltage on any of them. All right, we're going to go black to white. And it's showing 0 volts. Black to red. It's showing 0 volts. We're even going to do red to white. And it's showing 0 volts. Okay. Well, it's going to come over here and we're going to check our hot lead for the AC power coming in. Let's put our meter on AC. I know it's not connected, but you know what? It never hurts to be safe. And we're good there. So now that we've verified power's off to the entire unit, it's time to replace it. Now, the unit's pretty simple. It has AC power comes in from shore power, that's over here through these breakers. Converts it to DC, sends it out here to these buses, which charges your battery. Right, so it's pretty simple and straightforward to replace. So let's go ahead and get started here. Open up the new box. You can find these anywhere, the converters, anywhere priced from $160 on Amazon all the way up to $300 and something out in town at some of the RV places. Right, and this is the new converter. As you can see on the AC side, let me get the wires unhooked here for you. All right, this is the AC side. As you can see on the AC side, we have black, white, and green, which that's ground for green. White is your neutral, and black is your hot lead. Over on this side, this is your DC, okay, out, and you see we have red and we have white, and they're going to go from red to white, okay? Not sure what that piece was, but we're gonna hang on to it. Now the fun part is going to be getting these wires back out of here. I wonder, might be easier to remove that board. Didn't realize it, but the board pops out. You can see it's popped out. Makes pulling these wires off 1,000 times easier. Okay, and just work them back down through. white, excuse me. And there's my red. Now we got to do the power side, the AC side. Okay, so you can see we've got, look on your panel and you'll see that the power converter is the third breaker down, which is this one right here. Now, we're going to turn the main and the third, we're going to turn all the breakers off just to cover ourselves. Here again, I know power's not connected, but never doesn't hurt to be safe. All right, so converter is the third breaker down. So we come in here to the third breaker down, 3. All right, so that one's loose. This one, okay, so they are using that one. All right, so this one's also tied into here, so we're gonna have to tie it back into here on the new one. All right, so let's feed it back down through here. All right, so there's our hot wire. And we're going to do our common, which is a white. Alright, there's our common. And then we're going to do our ground, which is right here. Okay. Once all the wires are disconnected, next thing we're going to do, as you see the 2 screws at the bottom, we're going to remove those 2 screws. Let's move the board back out of the way. All right, screw number 1. I know you get a view of my nasty foot. Sorry, but it's tight. You're Casita owners, you know this is a tight space in here. All right, so the 2 screws are removed right now. Folks, I figured out that with these 2 DC wires, which are so heavy and so tight, I figured out it was a lot easier to actually feed the wires up through there before I put this unit in. So I went ahead and did that. All right, folks, as you can see, we've got the red wires hooked back up, tightened down, and got the board put back in. I've taken the black wire, the hot wire for the AC. You can see I've hooked it back to the terminal. Next thing I'm going to do is these were hooked here, and I'm going to hook them up so that they go to these 2 wires right here, which is where the other wire was hooked up, and they just had them on there with wire nuts. So I'm going to use the new lug that came with it. And I always like to get them as tight as I can get them, and then I'll actually even pull on them to make sure they're still tight. As you can see, we've got that one in there. Now take our common wire, feed it up through here, and our ground wire, feed it up. Okay, so we're good there. All right, now I'm going to slide the box back in. And with these red and white wires, there's some stiff wires. And we're going to slide it back in. Get our 2 little screws started here. Not going to tighten them down yet, just going to get them started. Let's see the one I've already got in there, and then this one. And then I noticed as I was putting it in there, those red and white wires so stiff, I popped the board back out. Oops, sorry about that, folks. Didn't mean to bump you down. So let's get the board pushed back in. Okay, so the board's pushed back in and it's tight. Now we're going to take our white wire, run it up here, get it into our neutral. All right, tighten it down. Alright, so it's nice and tight, guten tight as they say. Alright, now we got to put our ground over here to our ground strip. And everything is installed now. Alright folks, as you can see, I tightened all the screws down. Paused it there just a minute so I could crawl under there and actually take the flashlight, shine in there, check all my wirings, make sure the fan wasn't obstructed, because it's got to have its cooling, otherwise it's not going to last. So let's step outside. We'll hook our shore power up. I've got all the breakers off right now. We'll hook the shore power up. We'll come back in here and we'll turn the breakers on one at a time, check our voltages, and go from there. Hey folks, we turn power back on. All the breakers are on except for the spare, which is off, and everything's good. Our voltage up here now, I would show you the meter, but it doesn't show up on the camera, is 13.8 right now. So we are charging our battery, so we had a success. And like I said, and here again, standard warning: unless you are comfortable with AC and unless you are electricity or electronics, don't attempt this. It's a fairly easy job to do. There's videos online that show you exactly how to do it from Wifco, the company that manufactured it. But it's fairly simple. But there again, got to warn you, unless you're comfortable, please don't try this. All right, folks, well, that concludes our replacement of our Wifco power inverter. This was done on the road, actually in an RV park in Albuquerque. It was fairly simple. There again, hopefully this answered some questions for you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for support, and stand by for more videos on maintenance and repairs.